a big chunk of my life, several years, I ended up living in a house that was under construction. We ended up living in a tin shed house for about 4 years of my life, at least. There were mold growing in the house. We were very, very embarrassed to call in relatives and friends to see us at the house. That feeling stayed with me when I sort of left New York, quit my corporate job. I felt I needed to start a business, but I didn't know what business to start because I had no background of business itself. So I thought I should just start something that I'm really passionate about. And I felt like providing a safe house, a good looking house, decent house for a family to live in, that they can afford, really what drives me.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. Y'all know, super excited by now. Y'all know it's my tagline. But I'm super excited, and I'm super excited about my guest. Man, I'm going to let him tell the name of his business for himself, but the name is so touching. His story is touching, kind of how he got into real estate, how he got the passion. And again, I'm hoping he's going to tell it. He told me, I'm hoping he's going to tell y'all, but it's a beautiful story, and it really highlights why he's so passionate about what he do, what his drive, and actually the people that he serves and the community that he serves. And so I'm just super excited to introduce you guys to Mr. Ahmed. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, Quentin. Thanks for having me and to be here.
Absolutely. No, man, it's great having you. We've been talking a little bit backstage, and I'm excited for our listeners. I'm excited that they get to peek through your lens. And so I don't want to take up any more time with me talking. I want to dive in about you. I want you to take our listeners, our viewers into your world. Tell us what your main focus is these days, and also tell us what markets are you operating in?
Well, my main focus really is basically myself and the family, just the well-being. That's really is the main focus. But apart from that, I'm passionate about real estate investments, and I've been a real estate investor since 2017 at least. I started off my journey in just owning one rental property here in Northern Virginia in a city called Lorton, and doing some small fix and flip business in Maryland, in Baltimore, Maryland. So that's where I started. And I'm still doing the same, just probably a little bit more on a vast scale. From one property, I'm able to scale to 13 rental properties here in Northern Virginia. And I've done over 15 in Baltimore, Maryland. So that's been my journey so far. I enjoy doing all this. I own and self-manage all these properties. There are no, outside help other than the contractors and maybe an accountant. But I do it because I love to do it, really. And that's what, drives me into real estate. I'm necessarily not for the money, just not for the money. It's just I get a different kick because I feel real estate is highly analytical. You got to make the right moves at the right time. It's competitive, and that's really what gets me going.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I kind of tease the audience, but I don't want to make you do nothing that you don't want to do. But if you're open to it, and I would love for you to let them know the name, the story behind it, and also, maybe if you want to talk about your dad and how he played the role in you getting into the bit. Now, again,
Well,
it's up to you, but I would love it if Bill's too. Yeah.
yeah, I'm in real estate because I'm passionate about real estate. It's because a big chunk of my life, several years, I ended up living in a house that was under construction. None of my parents or any member of my family comes from real estate. They're not from business background. They're just very middle class, 9 to 5 people. And my father decided to, when we were probably 7 or 8 or 9 years old, buy a piece of land and try to build a house. And he had no clue about, how much the house would cost, or the cost of labor and materials would be, how to pay contractors, where to look for contractors, where to get specialized help. But he just bought the land, and he just decided to, his intentions were good. He wanted to put the family in a nice house, but it didn't turn out that way. We ended up living in a tin shed house for about 4 years of my life, at least. There were mold growing in the house. We were very, very embarrassed to call in relatives and friends to see us at the house. So that sort of stayed with me as I grew up. But eventually, we did get moved up into a, decent apartment. But that feeling stayed with me. And when I sort of left New York, quit my corporate job, I felt I needed to start a business, but I didn't know what business to start because I had no background of business itself. So I thought I should just start something that I'm really passionate about. And I felt like providing a safe house, a good looking house, decent house for a family to live in, that they can afford, really what drives me in the beginning. And it still drives me. So if I'm able to build a house where I'm able to, let a family in, and, they have a nice, comfortable living, that what makes my day, really. Just to give an example, I've done some flips, and I've also sold properties here in Northern Virginia. I really rarely sell my properties to investors. I try to sell them to first-time home buyers.
Yeah.
I help them get city grants if they're low on funds. I even help them get loans, get qualified, because I've established a dozen mortgage brokers, really, and I help them with their paperwork. So my goal has always been to give.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Housing to people who really needs it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been my drive for getting into real estate to begin with.
Absolutely. No, I love it, man. So I love it. Thank you for taking us down the road to where your drive is. Well, how your drive got started kind of motivated you, and now you're doing fix and flips in Baltimore. You've done fix and flips in Baltimore. You've seen rental properties in VA. You're a man on a mission. You're not necessarily motivated by the money, but by the numbers. And so, I guess my question is, that's not always easy, right? In this climate, you and I talked about, the market shifting. There's always something's going on. So, what's been the key to keeping that machine of you? Because you doing it yourself. What's been the key to keeping that machine running smoothly?
Well, I think the key is, it's a couple of things. First of all, it's the key is really the drive, for somebody when the chips are down, when the macroeconomics of a business, of any business is really doing well, it's great to be a businessman in that environment. But when the chips are down like we have now, and more so in the last couple of years, where interest rates were high, less and less people were qualifying for a mortgage. You had inflation where building materials would cost a lot more than what you had anticipated. It's a difficult environment,
Yeah.
right? So what keeps you going, number one, is the knowledge. When you acquire enough knowledge about a problem, really, you sort of find you find a niche, you find ways to resolve it. Whether it could be, for instance, I'll give you an example. If you see a good property that seems like a good fix and flip, but you're not qualifying for a loan, because interest rates are high and it doesn't make sense for a bank to give you a loan. There's financing, there's hard money lenders. There are no financing, right? So there are options that you discover as you go along, only if you keep your eyes open, get enough knowledge. I might not have attended any of these podcasts, but I can tell you, I look at the dozens of podcasts in real estate all the time. A lot of the things I feel are nonsense, but one or two things that they talk about, it's light bulb just goes on, and you research on that, you
Yeah.
know? So, that would only happen if you're truly interested, if you're truly motivated when chips are down. So that's why I say is, go out there, gain enough knowledge. And I'll tell you, the best way to learn is really not through books or podcasts or just talking. The best way to learn is really just to do it by yourself. Even if you fail, you would have just learned so much just by doing a transaction, however small it might be. Just by doing transactions, I think people learn a lot.
Absolutely. No, absolutely love it, man. And so to that point, I want to ask you this because you talked about doing the transaction, you learn a lot and you see a lot. You have to take on all, the burden of the risk and you have to face adversity. And so with that in mind, there's moment when things get real. Maybe a deal goes sideways or a time when you have to pivot fast. Within your journey, have you had stories like that where something kind of fell apart and you had to pivot?
Well, I've had hardships. It hasn't come down to that where something's really fall apart. I'll tell you, one of the reasons why is, um, it's just very easy to say somebody that, okay, you got to do your analysis right, but that really means a lot. When you
Yeah.
do your analysis, you've got to have plan A or B. What are you going to fall back on? You have to anticipate what happens if things go wrong. For instance, I'll give you examples. Contractors, when we're rehabbing properties, dealing with contractors is really very critical. The way to pay contractors are very important. You just don't pay them what they ask you. There's something called percentage of completion. That's a big topic, and any accountants out there would know percentage of completion method, meaning you pay a contractor as they perform their task, right? So if you think they perform 20%, you don't pay 20%, you pay 15%.
Yeah.
Because you need to have the contractor be liable always for, if like it's almost like you have to owe them a lot, or else they might just quit the job and they might leave. So I've realized that, and I've had contractors leave jobs in the middle, of a project.
Yeah.
But so what happens is you have to line up contractor B, C, and D, who would just be able to come and finish the job. But because you haven't paid the contractor, to the extent that he has done the job, you have left a little margin. You're not losing money at the back end of the project.
Yeah.
So you got to sort of like anticipate that. You know, if you just simply pay them what they ask you and the person leaves the job and a new contractor has to come in and pick up his slack, you'd probably lose money at the end of the project. So contractors leaving the job, yes, it has happened, but I'm just using this as an example.
Yeah.
Because I've anticipated that he or she might just not be there till the end of the project, I have not lost the money. And I would encourage other people to look into the percentage of completion method while paying contractors. So, various things like that, like this one project that I'm here in Baltimore, I purchased it. It's a rehab project for 2022. I purchased it. The market was not as bad. And I thought I would, sell it at a certain price. It's not selling at that price. So I'm not taking a huge profit, but, just barely breaking even with it. So, that's a hardship that I'm facing as of now, but I'm not going underwater because of XYZ reasons. I'm always having a backup plan.
Yeah.
So I think that's important in real estate. One of the other thing is, if somebody has to really learn real estate by making a lot of errors, it's very expensive. Real estate errors are very, very expensive. Real estate is
Yeah.
very capital intensive, business, and you better not make a lot of errors by losing money. So I would just say, folks out there, just be mindful of that. These are some of the quirks that I've picked up over the years.
No, excellent perspective, excellent nuggets that you're giving. That's really good. I hear from so many people, a lot of their pain points is dealing with these contractors. And so, yeah, that was definitely good food for thought. Let me ask you this. What are you most focused on solving or scaling next? What is the next real goal for you?
I feel like because I'm managing a lot of these single family properties myself, it can be challenging. And there's something called the economies of scale. So that being the focus in the future, I would like to take all these properties and like just go into multi-units really.
Gotcha.
Just, what the economies of scale provides, just basically taking all your investments into one or two buildings is what I'm looking at. Because, if you have, for instance, 13 properties, you're going to have 13 insurance policies. You're going to have 13 roofs to fix,
Yeah.
right? You have probably multiply that by 3, toilets to fix if they broke down. So
Yeah.
just by consolidating everything, I think that makes a little bit more sense. But, multi-unit again, it's just, it's not a single family there. It's got its own challenges, but I feel like it's sort of like a stepping up. It's like graduating to another level.
Yeah.
Once you've had enough single family experiences, getting into multifamily, it's a natural progression is what I feel.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Let me just ask you this. I think this is going to be kind of wind it down to the couple more questions. This may be the next to last, but I know people that's listening, they're early on their journey. Some of them could be, or they could be looking to level up. And I think they'll benefit from hearing this. And I'm very interested to hear your perspective on this. But when it comes to relationships and building your network, how has relationships had the biggest impact on you?
Man, I gotta be honest.
Uh-huh. That's why I said I want to hear your perspective on this.
Listen, building relationships and network is probably very important, but it hasn't gone very well for me. One is, look, I'm 50 years old right now. I probably know a little bit about myself. I'm not a very people person.
Mm-hmm.
To be very honest, I'm not a very people person. I've always been like that. I've always been
Yeah.
media shy. I've always been people shy, not very people person. So, and I didn't build a lot of relationships. I didn't build a lot of networks. I relied mostly on myself and my, you know, just knowledge and studying the market. And, but I would encourage people to build relationships. Yes, but let's not make that the sole focus.
Absolutely.
I feel like building relationships is probably either your appetizer or your dessert. The meat and potato is really for you to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Just jump in. That's I think is the key. You know, just owning your fear is the
Yeah.
key. So, but once you've done some trades, some transactions, you will meet people along the way and let your natural instincts take over. If you are a
Yeah.
people person, if you are a building relationship kind of a person, you like to go to seminars, by all means. But for all the folks out there who are not really, very savvy out there as far as, meeting people, it's not the end of the world. You can still grow, you can still scale. I think it's a natural progression for somebody to build relationship. So I would say, do get a lot of good knowledge, a lot of good perspective. If you have a good network of friends or family or business associates, you do that. But again, you have to take that knowledge and apply it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my take on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love your take. I love how you said, let it be the appetizer or the dessert. It doesn't have to be the meat and potatoes. I love that because you didn't just throw it away altogether. You're saying no, it's part of the experience. It may not just be the whole thing, and that's just dependent on how you are and how you're wired. But I understand and I'm with you, because I get what you mean. Believe it or not, in so many different facets, and you left room to understand that the connection is important. Like whatever deal we're in, whatever business or industry we in, we as people are going to have to connect. There's a buyer, there's a seller, there's an investor, there is a partnership that has to happen somewhere, but it doesn't have to be the end all be all. And I understand exactly what you mean in the way that you presented it. So listen, let Mr. Bobby, this has been great. Listen, before we wrap, if someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, it's funny saying this because now I'm listening about you with these connections, but I'm still gonna ask
Sure.
it.
By
Yeah,
by all means. I mean, if somebody were to reach out to me, I'd be very, very happy to cater to them.
yeah,
I would be really looking forward. I love really sharing what I know,
yeah,
because, nobody takes anything to their grave, okay? Whether it be
absolutely.
money or knowledge or your property or, nobody's going to take anything into your grave. It's just good that you pass on and let somebody,
Absolutely.
do even better than you.
Yeah,
Because what happens when
absolutely.
somebody does better than you, that person is probably helping 10 more people.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Yeah,
So I feel like the
yeah,
world is a better place when people share knowledge. By all means, if somebody were to reach out to me, Quentin, I don't know if you have my cell phone number. You probably do.
yeah.
Um,
Well, then
just
do me a
feel free.
favor. Just give them any information you want the listeners to have if they wanted to contact with you. Give them any information now so we have it on camera. How they can reach out to you.
Yeah, reach me. I'll give you my cell phone is number. I'll give you 917-497-3472. It's a New York number. It's been there for decades, and I don't want to change it. My email address, I'm gonna spell it out to you. It's HAMEED86 at hotmail.com. I don't entertain a lot of people in Facebook. I do have a Facebook account, but it's just basically for my family and very, very close friends have known. I don't have a lot of friends, just, a handful of people that I've known for decades and decades.
Sure.
These are people who will take a bullet for me. I just keep it very close. So yeah, cell phone and email are probably the best way to reach out to me, and we can go from there. Not a problem.
Absolutely. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate your time, your stories, definitely your perspective. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I'm so delighted that you was here. So thank you so much for coming through, Mr. Bobby. This was great, man.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely, no problem. Now, to everyone else, listen, I know you found value from this. I know you got value from Mr. Bobby and the stories. So make sure you're subscribed. You do not want to miss out on these amazing conversations. So again, thank you, Mr. Bobby. And to everyone else, we will see you on the next episode.
Thank you for having me. Yep.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.